slow down. You're moving way too fast. You got to.
In a new modern world, with cameras everywhere, technology in everyone's hand, the street is a commodity. You see it every day. Rappers chasing the algorithm, throwing uneducated lyrics over drill beats, begging for thumbnails with hundreds of thousands of views. They play the roadman, but they're just acting for a lens. But then there are people who are the street, not by choice, but by circumstances. These aren't music videos.
Crutchie came up to me on Market Street. I turned around and he's approaching me. He looked sober, he was sober. And he gave me the knuckle. Fist pump, bro. And he explained how he felt a bit exploited, shall we say. That I always catch him drunk or in other states of mind. So I said, dude, would it be right if I paid you royalties? And he said, yeah, that would make it all okay. That'd make it fair. So I paid him. And that's what you're about to see. And enjoy the rest of the video as well. Cheers.
This is the raw, ugly, unedited reality of addiction and being homeless on the streets today. Being sold as a street philosophy for entertainment. You've seen the clips. You've seen Turbo. You've seen Crutchie being poked, probed for clicks by everybody for many years. He was a character in a story that I like to watch.
And if you keep giving me good videos, I'll keep paying you. Thank you, Tony. All the best to you. Crutchie. No. I've warned you. Anyway, I can see you're enjoying your life. I can see you enjoying your life, friend. Oh, Jesus Christ. No, dude. Crutchie, stop it, man. Crutchie, you're not big enough, dude. Stop it. You're the one that keeps chasing me. And, I don't wish any harm upon the poor guy. I hope he does well. I hope he improves.
And in enters this guy, Billy Moore. But the lens can also be a lifeline. When Billy Moore stepped in, the narrative changed. It wasn't about what can I film this guy doing next. It's how can we get Anthony back? Rehab isn't a movie montage. It's a war. It's a 9-month facing demons that street corners of Manchester helped you hide from. It's a moment Anthony decided that Crutchie and Turbo was a character that he was ready to kill off, and Anthony could finally live again. And then the impossible happened.
And I felt it. Give us a little beard, let's go and figure out. I decided I cannot take drink or drugs again, as I put myself and family through so much pain, and it was sending me mentally and physically insane. I thought you was my friend, but this has got to end, so I can live a life that's not pretend. Sonny, you have to go, but eventually spiritual well-being will start to show. To be fair, I'd like that, but I wouldn't apologise for it to have to go. Right, to be good business.
AKA Turbo, Crutchie, call him what you want. He's getting released today and he's going into rehab. How are you, lad? You know you're in for a ride now, don't you?
Yeah.
Like, it's a roller coaster one for you.
Definitely.
All your emotions are going to be all over the gaff.
Yeah, I'm ready for it, well, that's what I'm saying.
You know, it's about, like, you changing your life.
Of course it is. Yeah.
Right, look, there's not much more to say. It's good to see you. Let's get this stuff in the car,
right, and
we'll get you on your way, right?
Yeah, of course, man.
Rehab isn't a movie montage. It's a war. It's a 9-month facing demons that street corners of Manchester helped you hide from. It's a moment Anthony decided that Crutchie and Turbo was a character that he was ready to kill off, and Anthony could finally live again. And then the impossible happened. In the rooms of recovery, Anthony found Meara, Geoff Hobson, a man he used to score with in the shadows of the street. Back then, they didn't know each other by name, only work and the need. Anthony was Turbo and Geoff was just another face in the cycle.
Right, so I've popped over to Blackburn. Gonna catch up with Andy. We all know him as Andy. His former name, Turbo Crutchie. Those labels have gone. We've moved on. We've left them in Piccadilly Gardens. Yeah, he's doing really well, but I'm gonna let him speak for himself because, you know, so proud of how far he's come. He's got so much going for him now. It just proves that, like, anything's possible. Because he was one of them people that got writ off. Everyone was going, don't bother with him. He's not listening, he's taking the piss. He'll never make it. That's what they about me.
Seeing them now is like watching a real-life Batman and Robin. Two men who survived the wreckage, now standing side by side. They aren't just here for clicks. They're here for street cred. Real street cred that they deserve. They are here to raise awareness against the very substances that was so close to burying them. This is a short intro into an interview podcast style, uncensored, no holds barred. This is for people still out there and for the people who think it's just content for the street corners of Manchester, for the kitchens of Blackburn. This is Anthony and Geoff, and their story starts right now.
Off you go, brother.
Let's start with yourself.
My name's Geoff.
Geoff
Hobson.
And
welcome, Geoff.
Welcome, Geoff.
Welcome.
And where are you from, Geoff?
From Manchester.
You're from Manchester.
Mm-hmm.
How old are we, Geoff?
I am 47.
You look great.
Well, thank you. I'll say
I wouldn't
that.
have said 47.
No.
I would not have said 47.
I like that.
100%.
Nice one.
And guest number 2.
Yes. My name's Anthony Meara, a.k.a. Turbo, from Manchester, 42 years of age, now residing in Blackburn.
Now residing in
Welcome,
Blackburn.
Turbo.
So, basically, we're going to start off. I'm going to just introduce it. So, how I come across Anthony was I was in uni. We did a podcast with a certain YouTuber who's not really liked within our community, or many communities to be fair. And I found it like a walking episode of South Park. And when I said that analogy outside, you kind of understood it.
I laughed, didn't I?
Yeah, you
I knew what
understood
he was on with.
So I'm saying when I didn't really like a lot of the content he was doing, but I couldn't stop watching.
1,000,000%.
Yeah.
It's like I can't stop watching it. And that's kind of what happened. And Anthony was actually, we'll say, was a character in this South Park,
Yeah,
life.
old, isn't it?
It was pretty much, you look at thumbnails, and I've done, and I'm like the poor guy, this is since everything. And I'm like, Charlie, you can change thumbnails. You can actually change thumbnails.
Yeah, of course.
And now he still can, so Charlie, change them in thumbnails, man.
Switch it up,
You know what I
Charlie.
mean? You can do, bro. You can do. And, end of the day, do your thing. We're not going to tell you bang on what to do, but you can go back in time and change it.
It's what
My
it is,
man's
isn't it?
changed.
Yeah, of course.
So anyone can change.
Change is possible.
You can change
Yeah,
them thumbnails. Yeah?
Everything's subject to change.
Of course
So-
it is.
I remember there was one episode where Charlie said that you had passed away, and he announced to the world that you had passed away. Now, if anyone knows Charlie, he gets hundreds of thousands of views. So quite a lot of people seen that. Me and Josh, the guy from uni, shout out Josh,
Yeah, Josh.
we rang each other. Well, he rang me. He was gutted. We were like fully gutted. And this was just because we'd never met at this stage. And it was just, I've watched this guy for so many weeks. And I'm going to say it, I feel shitty saying it, as entertainment. And it was
1,000,000%.
entertainment.
Yeah, that's what it was, yeah.
You know what I mean? And I was saying, how am I going to say this? I'm going to just be blunt.
Say
Be
it.
blunt. Because it was entertainment. That's why you're watching it. And like
course.
addiction. But still, you're a human soul, man.
Yeah, of course.
And like he said that time, man, You know, you've got kids, you've got a family, and they see the stuff. And he was, you've seen what I'm on about. You've probably seen it, and he went a bit deep. He was a bit. He showed humanity, which he doesn't show too much of because he's always got his guard up.
Yeah, of course.
He is a human. He's just like us, but he's always got his fucking guard up. Let down your guard, bro. You can't really in his position, can he? It's hard, actually.
It's like showing a weakness.
Yeah, it's like it's hard, innit? And he might get attacked by that guard as well because of everything that he's ever, you know.
But do you know the way he used to do it? He used to so he'd be walking through town, he'd see me, you know what I mean? The first time he'd say something, do you know what I mean? Not filming. Yeah, walk away. 10 minutes later, come back, seen that I've had a few more beers, say something else, not filming. Then the third time he comes back, he knows that I'm gonna retaliate. So then he'll have the camera filming. So then it's like his first shot, but he's already been passed twice. So that's the kind of man that we was working with.
Right. But, so what I would have seen was
because you're not a stupid guy.
So he walks past you, then he gets the camera out, then he walks back, and he's filming you for a distance from a. You know, and this is what I would have seen. I'm only saying, Charlie, what the content is, Matt. You know what I mean? I'm only putting this out there, what that content is. You know I've got respect for you, man. You know I do. But at the end of the day, if he's saying it, I'm not going to call my man a liar here in front of me. Like, if he knows how it is, you know what I mean?
That's Charlie, isn't it?
That's Charlie. He's good at what he does. It's content.
Yeah, it's good what he does, you know, and people want to see that kind of life. They want to see what's like in the city centres. They want to see how people are living.
Have you ever featured on the Charlie?
No.
Thank God.
No, I don't come across Charlie to that. But you know what it is as well? People say it quite a lot to us, like, oh, I've been watching you from a distance, Tony. I feel like I know you.
Yeah.
Because he was always on it, wasn't he? You know, he was always on
and
Charlie.
that's why it was so gutful when it was like,
yeah.
It's like one of the boys has just been, nah.
Joe Keller.
I feel like I'm isolated and hid under a rock for that many years, that this is the kind of only form of social entertainment that I've been getting lately.
Come on.
Do you know what I mean? So it was like I'd lost a friend.
You killed Crutchie, man.
Yeah, Crutchie's gone there. It was absolutely gutting, you know what I mean? It really was. So that's the introduction. That's kind of what led to where we're at today. And then obviously everything with Billy, we'll touch off of that with Billy. But then it led to the point where I was like, I got in touch with Charlie, you were doing the 10K run, and I said to Charlie about, let's use our platforms to elevate some extra cash for this. And he was like, I'm too much of a far lone wolf or something. I remember I showed you that reply, and he was like, I'm too. And I was like, showing to Anthony that months ago, when he was planning that 10K, that I was willing at that to kind of raise awareness.
We're just sparing him over.
Hopefully end up with what we're doing today.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if we can elevate what he's doing and put
it
stuff
out
behind
there
it,
more,
exactly.
course,
I've got a platform, and why not use that platform to help him, you know what I mean, what he was doing. And Charlie brushed it off.
Yeah.
And obviously, I text Billy. Billy gets thousands of messages. I had no idea there was a movie about him. I had no idea. To me, it was just another Charlie Veach guy, but he was sound. And then I see the Lad Bible stuff, and I'm like, all right, the guy's actually been through a bit. Like, wow.
Yeah.
And I see there's a movie, and this is like 3 weeks ago. I'm like, he's now my idol, Billy. Wow, man. Thank God you're not here, because I'd be fanboying you, and I would not like that. I don't fanboy anymore.
Yeah.
I'm in that position where I've got credibility. But I'm like, I'd fanboy Billy, like, oh my God, like, you know. Because I didn't want to do that. I did not want, and I said, it's Anthony's night. I didn't want to make it about that and fanboy it. I said this to KD, and he's like, big respect that. I was like, I hope Billy doesn't come with him. Because I might lose myself. And I don't want
diverted from what you're trying to do.
And I want the message. So I said, even if Billy comes, we'll kick him outside. He goes, you can't do that. I said, but it's Anthony's moment. I said, Billy's had plenty of his moments, red carpets, everything. Fully deserved.
Yeah, 1,000,000%.
He's had his moment. We're going to give Anthony his moment. You know what I mean? Anthony's invited yourself down.
Yeah, boss.
He explained about the situation of how in recovery, and he was like, bro, just touch on that. It was like, you met in recovery.
Well, no, so before this, we managed to be smoking together, gets to treatment centre, he comes on a Thursday, I come on a Friday, he's come over, he's gone, "Oh, so where you from, Manchester? Oh, it's nice to meet you." I went, "Fucking hell, Turbo. I was smoking you for weeks in your doorway." So since then, we've become really close. We've been on the journey together every day. We've done all this together. And
that's great.
So
yeah, we've just got a real strong connection.
So it's motivation. So
$1,000,000%.
No, I did not even notice. That's great that this is actually getting out there.
Yeah.
So it's like
I come up with any ideas.
I'm not gonna say I've been given Billy. I'm not gonna say Billy's been. I've been giving Billy a lot of credit.
Yeah.
You know, because at the start, not all the way through, but now it's on you. Of course, it's on you. But at the start, I've been giving Billy. But now I'm realising you've actually got, it's a Batman and Robin situation you've got going on here.
Yeah. Sean and Bez.
You know what I mean? It's a Batman and Robin. I always say to Dean, Batman and Robin.
Yeah.
I said, and don't you think by me saying that I'm taking Batman.
I'm not Batman.
Yeah.
Because you're my Batman.
Yeah. Of course. 1,000,000%.
And I say this to him. And I say this to him, I cannot do this stuff alone, man.
Well, that's what it is, yeah. Like recently, yeah, there's what I mean, been a certain situation, yeah. But then he respects me. I can pull him up and say, "Yo, just cool it this way, that way." And
it's good to push and pull.
Because like people like
I know that, and anything that he says to me, I know he's saying it in a good way. He's not saying it in a bad way. I know he's got my good intentions at heart. So I mean, like any ideas we come up with like that, because in the madness, you come up with these ideas.
But then we're solving world peace, aren't we, when we're using?
It's like before Christmas, I come up with this idea about we'll start doing a live on TikTok. So once we get out of the treatment centre, get into our own place, we'll start. Like, do you know what I mean? Anyone wants to come on and that, and then
gives them a voice as well, bro.
He said that's a good idea, and I'm not letting him down. Do you know what I mean? He's been involved with it. Yeah.
Every day we get people coming on with like they're struggling or their mate's struggling, and
you've just had quite a few live then, even like jumping on with you, which is
of course they come on and they're talking and because we know a few people who work in services, we can point them in the right direction. If it's a girl who's struggling, we've got a few girls on it and we're like, listen, get on this girl here and get around her. And sometimes it's mental health, sometimes it's
deeper than that.
Deeper than that. We had a really deep one the other week, like a proper deep one, wasn't it?
Yeah, we've got girls about us where if girls come on the live and that and he's struggling and all that, we can say we can point him in the right direction to certain people, and the people that are on the lives are willing to do that. Do you know what I mean?
It's actually
that's good, that.
It's so great that
community is there as well.
1,000,000%.
Yeah, it's good. You know what I mean?
It's so great that
because people sometimes they don't go out much or they're quite isolated and they've got no connection with stuff like this. So if they can come on here at the night time and just have a bit of a chat, and sometimes we have a bit of a buzz, don't we? Just do like a bit of jukebox stuff and
bro,
tunes.
I'm first to admit I'm a lost soul sometimes, bro.
There you go, and so it just gives you like that.
And I love writing.
And the first door to recovery is actually communication. And rather than going to a meeting or doing it outside of their house, coming onto a live and all that, just breaking the ice, with us and that. Do you know what I mean? Because they've come on and said they've watched like behind the screen and that, and then once you see how we're moving things, they've actually joined the live and that, and then do you know what I mean? Like started talking to the family members and all that a bit better and all that. We can just push them in the right way because we can never say to them, "Oh, well, we've done it. You need to do it."
Yes.
All we can do is just give them advice on to say,
"Yes, here's a door for guidance."
Listen, this is what I got shown this one time, and I grabbed it with both hands. All we can say is there's this, there's that. We've got people you can get in touch with, or
exactly. And I was trying to think of that about how to formulate questions without kind of like offending you. And
not be offended with anything.
Especially it was like when I was at one moment I was trying to get it out in the kitchen there, and it was like, so rather than going off of that, I'd like each of yous now. So we've got a good 4 or 5 minutes here, and then we can go to the seg after the break, and we'll come back to the second one.
Just a quick one, if I may. Coming from someone with experience that's been in and out of mental institutions, there ain't no shame in asking for help.
That's where the strengths are. The strengths are asking for the help. We feel like,
on the podcast now. Remember, Aaron, at the podcast now, you got to put in the numbers for, the charity lines in the bottom now, right there now.
Come on, men's mental health matters, man. And we feel as men, there's a bit of a stigma around it.
Yes.
Kind of, I was brought up in a time where you didn't talk about your problems.
Exactly.
So we've held on to that.
Iced it all up.
1,000,000%. And then so it seems really hard to break the ice to do that. Yeah. And as soon as you do it, it's like
Weight of shoulders,
very
yeah,
empowering. It's very
It is.
empowering. And then it also gives somebody else the free rein to, well, he just talks
Do you know
about
what's
it.
even more
I can
powerful?
talk about
Do
it.
you know what's even more powerful, bro? When someone listens.
Yeah.
1,000,000%.
So,
You know what I mean?
Was there an element, like when you were kind of using, it's a race against the time?
I'd kind of give up on time.
Yeah.
I just thought, listen, I'm past that now. Like, my life's got really that bad, and I've had all these things what have happened to me. You know, I've done some pretty bad things, and I've lost everything
Yeah,
I ever had. My mum, my kids, my house, my bird, my job, my car. I were homeless. I just thought, maybe this is just me now. I thought, well, my kids are with my mum, they're looked after. Don't really need a job. I'm fucking just there doing this. This probably be me. And I thought that was my time had gone. And people were trying, weren't they, all the time?
Yeah.
Like, you had your Billies and your Charlies and
Two Brews,
Live Share. I know I've got real close friends and they work in services, and for 20 years they've been trying with me, come on, Geoff, and I'd get so far in and then I'd just throw it all away again. And they kind of never give up on you, do they?
Nah.
That cycle is
Never give up on you.
They
And
never
it was
give up
always,
on you.
and it was always
Never
tomorrow.
give up.
It was always tomorrow as well. Do you know, someone would see me in the doorway, and that on the Monday, the services come on Monday. They say, right, we're making an appointment for Thursday. We want you off the street. Do you know, Joe, on the Monday, yeah, that would be the best idea in the world. I'd be up for it. Come Thursday morning after I've been up all night doing whatever. So I mean, that idea just seems
Out
so.
a window,
Yeah. But
You know, in that moment, it's definitely the best thing for you. But life, and you've got there's stuff to do.
Yeah, of
There's
course.
stuff, in your head, you had stuff to do.
There's more important stuff.
Yes.
Do you know, because nothing.
And it's not scoring. It's not scoring. It's other things as well.
Well, other
it
things as
genuinely
well.
is.
Yeah. I can't do any other things until I've scored. So my every overriding thought is scoring, getting money,
Routine,
am I
bro.
going to get off?
Routine.
1,000,000%. Because if I don't have that, I can't do A, B, and C. And if I haven't used so much of that, I can't do X, Y, and Z.
Yeah, innit?
And so nothing else matters.
No
You know,
focus on nothing. It's
nothing, and then everything seems so far out of reach that then you give up on, well, would I even try reaching it?
spins the world upside down as well.
Of course.
even on Thursday morning, do you know, when you wake up and you think, right, I've got that appointment at 1 o'clock. You start off and think, right, I'll just have one can. And obviously, with the addict's mind, you don't think, do you know what I mean? And by the time you know it, you're fucking on the floor, or you've had, do you know what I mean? I'll just have another one. I'll just have another one. Yeah.
Jumping in cars and picking it.
And then there's nothing off limits. Like, once you've had like a few of a bit of what it is you're having, like for me, I were on heavy on the Class A's, and I was for years. So once I've had one and I've got the taste of that, anything what comes my way, I am doing it. And I'm not taking hostages, and I'm not bothered who I walk over, who I hurt. It's me. I'm the most important person, and I'm getting what I want. And if it comes to it, who can I rob? What dealer's got? Is he a muppet? Can I jack him? Can I do this? Can I do that? It matter the consequences.
Not realising you're hurting other people.
No,
you don't see it, do you?
1,000,000%, you don't even know. And then when you do know, and stuff feel that bad to you, the weight you're carrying around from doing all that bad stuff, you use more stuff to suppress them feelings, until you just become numb. Nothing touches you anymore.
Empty, bro.
And already in the morning, when you wake up, that mind, who gets paid today?
1,000,000%.
Right, that person gets paid today, right? Which post office do you reckon they'll be going to cast them? Do you know what I mean?
I know exactly what
you won't even have to wait.
Well, you kind of know in your own diary's mind.
Yeah.
Oh, Joe Bloggs gets paid this morning. I'll be there waiting for him.
Yeah.
We fucking do it, don't we?
Yeah.
Oh, it's cool.
Sorry.
We
do it each other. It's like, honestly, it's like, right, Dean gets paid this time.
You fully beg it. Don't even try it. Don't even try it.
I know, right, straight up.
Up my ass, bro. Don't even try it.
Honestly. Dean gets paid Wednesday, I get paid Friday. Dean, I was going to ask you for a vampire diary.
Dean,
that is genuinely the case.
Of course.
And I know that I was going to... So what you're saying, it's like it just resonated. And why is that? Because I'm an addict. Because I smoke weed. Because I need to smoke my joints before I can do X, Y, and Z. Before I can do my day. Before I eat breakfast. So it's a way less powerful
But on the thing of that is that you two were friends.
Yeah,
Some of these people I were doing it, so I fucking didn't even know him. I scored with him once, or I crossed streets a few times, but I got on to when you get paid.
Or even when they did get paid, a few of them, you can go to that person, can't you? Yeah. So you have about
bail me, I want it.
you have about 200 quid of them people don't. Yeah, you'd go, and you'd smoked all the stuff by the time you get back, and you're like, you go missing for 2 days.
Yeah.
They're like, where have you been? Oh, I got arrested dinner. It's like that.
Oh, you're never going to guess what happened.
Stories come fairy tale stories.
And to you, that sounds so convincing.
Yeah, of course.
As soon as you say it out loud,
Television
without saying names, last night with I was on the back street having a smoke before I went into 49 for Meara Ethan, and as I said, I'm a magnet for trouble, and I just ended up not really in Manchester, and I ended up in a place.
I showed a bit of
just smoking. You know what I mean? So a big guy comes down. Josh is
NCP car park ended up.
Tall guy. He's like, hey mate, can I just get the last of that? Look at that. Like, I'm like, yeah. Just so we stood there, started giving up with Charlie. I'm like, I've got turbo tomorrow for a boom. So we starts talking. Next thing he goes in the car park, he comes out, he's like, that guy there just invited me in for a pipe. Didn't give me anything. Himself like that. I'm like, that's tight. You don't invite man in. Like,
you can't do that.
It's like, yo, bro, I've got this sick Cali buds here, like the best. You've never smoked anything like this tweed ever. But
you can't have any.
You can't have any of it.
Come for dinner. Come for dinner and sit there and watch us eat.
Yes.
You can't have any.
Yeah, you can't have any of it.
It's fucking cruel.
It was cruel.
Hey,
so we come back out of the car park and I was just like, oh, the poor. And he's wearing his underpants and he gets off. I was just like, the poor guy. The poor Ethan was with us, clueless to what was happening.
I'm not
clueless, you know what I mean? To what was even happening, like trying to tell Ethan. Yeah. He's that kind of far gone. Danger just doesn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't even register with you.
Danger's gone with the kid.
It doesn't even matter to
That's because the worry of just, he's just got no care for, like life itself. See, like now I'm bigger.
Your thing is, though, boys, you know yourself and everyone else that's listening, you could be your body could be here now on Earth. Your brain could be on Jupiter or something.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
completely different mindset and that.
That's why where my mind went when I used to sit in them doorways. I used to think, this is what my life's come to.
That thought there. We've got 21 minutes on the clock now. We're supposed to do 18. We're going to go to the advert break. We're going to come back, and then we're going to go a little bit Mariana. That was a nice introduction. That was a nice sweet introduction, and then we're going to go a little bit Mariana.
We've got 21 minutes to talk.
We've got 21 minutes to talk. Okay, yo, that's it. Where bars fill the nation.
West Side.
Just want to go for a fag round?
Yeah. I want a vape in here.
Yeah. We'll go for a quick fag. I need to go for a piss.
I've got tobacco.
Yeah, I need a
got little skinnies, but it's all good.
You go for a piss. Badly.
That was a good chat.
That was very good. We're going to come back. We're going to boom.
One goes to parties with Kermit.
Right,
like what?
That's mad, bro. That's mad.
That's raining. Let's get raining.
Back on.
We're back. We are back. More beds. Let's get some more beds.
Let's get some tunes on.
You need to get my beats in their beds next, man. I'll send you a few beats.
It's just, it's instrumentals, isn't it?
Yeah, of course, man, of course.
Instrumental that we could talk over nice and easy. Because otherwise we go, oh, that's a sick.
Yeah.
Remember that bar, and then you sidetrack.
It takes away
that artist and Eminem, and
it takes away, man. Even when you're a listener and you're listening to a podcast, sometimes I don't like it. Even when it's a beat, sometimes I'm just like, I'd rather just hear your voice. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, for radio, you need to play the beds, but sometimes just for podcast, it's like just voice.
I have these counted down very low, very low, more than halfway. Like
a little bit of ambient.
Normally, we have them like a good bit up, so it'd be like, normally, be like.
That you're rapping.
And that's what we started boom when it comes out. Just quietly letting it down.
We'll go through track list and stuff like that. Stuff like this on. When artists are on, we're playing music and that.
So you start.
I can't believe Jack last week dissed all the Deafy beats.
Was that there?
Clueless.
Oh, was it there?
He was just confident what he wanted.
I think it was back. Aye. Just centre kind of thing. Aye, back a wee bit.
Yeah.
Turn it round so we can get the hang. Aye, yeah.
Lorenzo, nice.
There we go, that's it.
we go. You know, you're a good director, you man. I like your vision. You just see stuff.
Close, bro. Close, man. You need to, man.
You got to improvise.
You need to tell these people in the video on you as well, man. You need to direct them.
Right, 3, 2, 1.
Come on, Lewis.
Boom. A bit. That was a little bit northern soul, but doom.
Yeah, that was like.
It was like, it kind of reminded me of the Jam a bit. Like,
I said the Jam before.
That's where to start segment 2.
That's it. Nice way. Nice way to start segment 2.
There's a style council.
Style council. Come on.
Come on, man.
Come on.
So that last seg, we had a little bit of fun introduction. We know who we all are now. We're all comfortable with each other. And basically, this time, we're going to go a little bit deeper. We're going to go
Rock
bottom. Right there. And if you could see the channel, I'm like right down at the bottom of the channel. That's where you hear no music.
Yeah, there's no music. It's just words.
It's just words. So that's it. So over here at Rhyme Republic, I hear a lot of music, a lot of young lads advocating the sale of certain products that have affected lots of individuals. We've not actually touched off of the substances, which of choice.
Let's do.
Let's
do it.
So basically, if you could just, I'm just going to give you the platform is yours. So just, you've got 5 minutes each to just.
Floor's yours, boys.
The floor is yours. So
Gentlemen.
I'd like some kind of memory and some kind of message to these kids that are getting sucked into that lifestyle. With these guys, and they're being used as well. They're being manipulated.
Yeah, mules, aren't they?
They're mules. Yeah.
Being groomed, aren't they?
Ball boys.
Yeah, they're groomed, man.
No comment all the time, and then you got jail. No comment.
Standard.
That's
and they're getting kids to sell it, so when it does come on top and they get nicked, there's not really a charge sheet for anyone.
Yeah.
It's graft, isn't it? So who's you on first day now?
You go.
Me go first?
Yeah.
So,
why not?
what, like, start back from where I started and...
The floor is yours.
Right,
so, as far as you want to go.
So... we'll skip the childhood stuff was all right. Like, we had a really nice upbringing. We were brought up with morals, values, all that kind of stuff. I hear people say a lot, oh, we're introduced to drugs really young. I wasn't. I introduced myself to drugs really young. And, you know, you do the drinking in the pub, in the park, and then there's a couple of older kids smoking weed, and then they're doing acid, and then they're doing ease and whiz, and that was all good. And that's kind of like, that's as good as things got for. And then I was 16 and I'd been to a rave. We'd been to bowlers, and I come back. Was in a kitchen party, and I walked in. They were smoking heroin, and I went, "Fucking hell, what's that?" And I go with that, and you hear it said quite a lot. Like, I knew I'd landed with heroin. That was my drug of. People say drug of choice. I say it's a drug I had no choice of taking anymore because it. And my life quickly went from everything was all right to it was still all right, and it had a few consequences going on. And when I was 16, I first went to jail, and it was kind of like people were scared of going to YPs back then. It was a rough place in and I remember the magistrate said, "Oh, it's be a sharp shot this," and I thought, "Worked for me." And I got out and I used it, and I promised my mum and I promised my gran, and I'm not going to use, and I didn't even make it back to Manchester from Wigan, and I was scoring, and that was the cycle of my life for the next 16 years.
Yeah.
And in 16 years, I spent 13 months out of prison. I was out for a week. I was getting gate arrested. I was out for 2 months. And no matter for all the will, it was kind of like a bit of an ego boost because I've been in jail that many times. People knew who I was. I was small. I was noticed. I had a big mouth. And it was like a bit, yo, Jeff's back on the wing. Yes, Titch. And I was like, yeah, man, I'm back. And for the love of life, no matter what it was, I had bigger habits in jail than when I got out. I was getting visits, and I had more in my cell than people were coming in on charge sheets with, and it was all well and good. Everything was all right. And then fast forward, and I turned to like 32, and I've like lost all my youth years, and then they had 2 kids, and things went all right. I stopped using, and it was decent, and even from time to time, I kind of think, I can get away with having a little use up here. My mum's got the kids. I've got a few extra quid. No one will know. And that went on like that for a little while, and then my children's mum passed away of an OD. So you would think now all the evidence is in front of you. You've spent the most of your life in jail. You've just lost your kid's mum. Your kids have now only got one parent. Surely it's time to stop. And I couldn't. I couldn't stop. And that stuff you was just talking around about then about trap houses and kids thinking it's the shit and all that. And you know, like you said earlier on, most of these kids who were talking that stuff, they've never been inside a trap house in their life. I learnt some, maybe you could call them skills along the way, and I could do that whipping up. And what you don't realise is this. They're selling stuff that ruining lives, and it's not just ruining their lives. It's ruining. It's not just ruining the addict's life. It's ruining the addict's family's life, and these kids aren't asked. The stuff what's getting thrown in gear and that today is so like I had 3 ODs me on what I thought was heroin, and it was fentanyl. You know, I've seen crack, what people are thinking they're smoking crack, and it's not, it's washed with magic. And even these days, the ketamine, because I do a bit in services, and it's all got fentanyl in it, and xylazine, and isonitazines, and you don't even know what you're buying. These kids are throwing anything in it, right? And they think that they're living large, and they're doing this, and they're doing that. And you know, most of them, they've never really seen that life. They probably put 2 to an ounce of weed with a mate, and they're talking stuff what they've heard on other raps, and other trap flows and stuff like that, and all that bando stuff. And listen, you know, when stuff comes on top, like we were just talking about then, if they were that big of a person, when they get to the police station, they just go, niche. And they're not. I've got a friend, my very good friend, who's my kid's godfather, is a solicitor. And he used to come back from Ashton Police Station. He'd go, oh, Geoff, I'll come back to yours. And he'd go, oh, do you know such and such a body? And I go, yeah. And he went, fucking both of them singing like canaries. You watch the doors go off in the morning. And, you know, with Brown and shit was, them doors was going the next day. And so everyone's thinking that these kids are big fucking partakers in this underworld stuff. And they're not. And, you know, so that, like, they get nicked for that, and then what happens to their families? So this income, what they've just had and going on, and the kids might be used to a certain little few treats and a few Gucci hats and Louis Vuitton man bags, and it's gone. And then the kids are left thinking that, oh, my dad did this, and the ripple effect of it, it's heavy, and no one really sees it, and I couldn't really see that when I was bang at it. It's only since I've stopped. And like that using life and that selling life, because I've kind of kept my hand in the pot all along the years. I've tried to do little bits, and you know, I could sit here and say, yeah, I used to shop big bits of gear and I was whipping up loads of crack. I wasn't. The truth of the matter is I was running around like a dickhead for a few bags of heroin a day, getting used, getting mugged off, and you see it, like they prey on the real vulnerable people. You know, people that look down and think, well, he's not really got much about it. And they take over the gaff, and before you know it, my man's homeless, and then he's ODing on the street. And it's the life what comes. Really, when I look at that and I can say, right, I sold gear all my life. What did I have out of that? I've been a thief all my life. I haven't got nothing to show for it. I've got no family. I'm now back with my mum and my kids and that's cool. I ain't got no friends. I ain't got no house. I'm very nigh on unemployable. The only kind of job I'm going to get is this stuff what I volunteer doing now in services. Because, like, you know, at 47 with like a criminal record as long as the Blackpool Mile, there ain't not going to be that many places that are interested in taking you on. It's not like I'm going to go to college and learn a new trade, or I'm going to be a plumber or an electrician or whatever. Because them days have gone. So the only thing I know about is teaching people about not doing what I've done. And I do tell them, I sort of touch on all the time, like all this, like you think you're this, you think you're that. Really, if the shit hits the fan, you're just getting left in the dust. You're just
masks,
getting masks, mate, masks. And you know, like I said, I touched on it before as well. You know, the real big people in that kind of industry, no one knows who they are. There's just a few people who know who the big people are. They don't make phone calls. They don't touch money. They don't pick parcels up. They just sit back and get rich off other people's misery. And that is the same in no matter whatever drug it is, whether it's heroin, crack, ketamine, cannabis, ecstasy. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You always think you're somewhere up there, and really you're the bottom of the food chain. And you know, drug trends are changing these days. It is all that stuff. The ketamine and you know, coke, what's not actually cocaine. You know, you think you're getting, oh, I'm getting raw, it's 1010. It's, you know, I've seen 1010 drugs me about twice in my life. It was 1993 or something like that. I've never seen 1010 of anything since, It isn't. So what you think you're buying, if you're buying drugs, it actually isn't. It's just misery. So they'll see an empty gaff, think they're taking it over, start washing it. It's just pain. So your estate, what you now live on, is now getting flooded with shit. What you're making, what you don't really know much about making it anyway, because you're fucking 12. Like, so all that stuff what you're making is being sold on your estate. So when you was a kid and your house got burgled by an heroin addict and you called him to death, you're now selling that stuff what fuels that addiction, what's going to burgle other people's house on your estate. You wonder why your mum's car insurance is through the roof, because everyone's jacking cars because they're going mad on drugs. They don't actually know what it is, but you're fueling that because you're selling it. And like I said, most of them, the kids aren't there in case, you know, pawns in a massive industry of a food chain. What comes down, he gets it gets bashed, he gets it gets bashed, he gets it, and by the bottom of the chain, you're not really selling anything, and you just if you get nicked, you're just replaceable. I know people who do lines. Yeah, a kid gets nicked in the morning, the doors come off. By 3 o'clock in the afternoon, that phone's back live, and somebody else is doing it, picking on like vulnerable families, kids. And they just like, if you get nicked, you're gone. You know, it's not like you're in jail and they're sending your mum money and your mum's getting looked after. It doesn't fucking happen like that. Nah. And people don't see that. They just think, I want to be with him. He's a bad man. Look at him. He's got a bally and a fucking sarong. They just don't get on it, do they?
I got tearful a moment ago, mate. That's exactly what I wanted. I was like, thank God the camera was like kidding away.
Hey, is that Mariana Trench enough for you?
That was. Thank you so much.
Well, that's my life. I'll you know.
Well, there's a saying that you put your heart in your sleeves
as well.
And that was putting your heart in your sleeves there, man.
No respect, because that's all I can do now. I can just sit here. It's pointless me
experienced it, bro. Do you know what I'm saying?
It's pointless me saying I've wasted my life and there's nothing come of it. You know, I might have wasted my life.
I don't think I'm ready for it. That was a bit.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Is that all right?
No. It's what I wanted. It's perfect because it's what I envisioned.
Yeah.
What I wanted to happen is what you've just done.
And we said, didn't we, in the kitchen, like, well, I'd prefer it if you think, like, you know, there were certain questions you wanted us to ask. I said, just freestyle it. Freestyle it.
At least I don't feel like I'm trying to
prompt me into saying,
rolling on facts.
Rolling on facts. All I've got is facts, is evidence.
Then you start taking things out.
Lifestyle,
and that's it. And we've not criticised any kind of thing where we'd have to counteract. We've not criticised the government. We've not criticised the prison system. We've not criticised any of the services.
No, I've not mentioned services, no fellowships, like nothing like that.
If we was to do it, I'd have to counteract.
Dub it out, big it up.
I just have to basically say what they say. I just have to go, they claim.
Yeah, we've got no influence over what they're
so basically we can't do hit pieces. Yeah. So it's like, even if I completely agree with you and you've said it and it's about the BBC, I'd have to say, well, no, the BBC have actually said. And that's protecting ourselves.
Counterbalancing it.
It's protecting ourselves, really. But we've not even done that.
Yeah.
There was a couple of swear words. Sorry for the Ofcom.
Sorry for swearing.
Listen, that is Ofcom can really do one. That message is perfect. Yeah. If Ofcom wants to regulate and start doing something with that kind of a message, that just shows what they want.
Yeah, it shows what they want out there.
Yeah, what they want out there.
Because
exactly.
their media is narrated in it.
Yes, this was uncensored.
Yeah, uncensored. Unfiltered.
It is 3 o'clock in the morning. We're sorry if there is.
It's 3 o'clock in the morning when you hear this. So there you go.
John, Andrew, anyone in house listening to this as well, like, this was something I had visioned for a long time. I've been speaking with Anthony. I said it to Mark outside about how I've came across Anthony and his journey and who's helped him, and then I mentioned Billy, and Mark was like, I don't know who he is. And then I was like, he's got a movie on Netflix. What's it called? He's like, I've seen that. It's a great movie. I was like, that's about his life. So, that's like, you've just nailed it. You've just really nailed it there, man.
I usually, if I do a share at a kind of any sort of fellowship meeting, I'll always say at the beginning, listen now, I put a fucking disclaimer out there because I swear quite a lot, and so when I knew I was coming, I thought I'll try and keep it in check and that. And sometimes do slip, I know I do. But that just shows how real it is, doesn't it?
That just shows it.
Trust in it as well, bro.
Of course.
But it's not like we're slating anybody anyway. Like,
No.
So we've got like 3 minutes left.
Oh, right, yeah, for all the time, sorry.
No, 3 minutes of this segment. And then we'll probably close out in the last 10 minutes, but it's like, that was just really, really powerful. Like, respect. A lot of the...
Also poetic as well.
I can't name names, but there's quite a lot of artists that I was directly thinking of as you were speaking. And earlier on, I wasn't thinking of these names. I said Leighton earlier about it. But now I'm thinking Leighton is just Leonardo DiCaprio who's not even touching the stuff.
No, is he? Yeah.
He's just a Leonardo DiCaprio. These other names are pawns.
Of course.
Yeah. Other names are pawns.
Of course, they've
supply and demand.
Yeah, exactly. So these, and I'm thinking of these names, and one of them was as young as... we won't say the age because I don't know, but one of them was quite bloody young.
Yeah.
And we were walking through town. We were just coming in here for an interview, setting it all up, and he's touching down in the doorways. You know, she's sitting on the ground. She's done, and she's a user. I've seen her for years. I feel dead sorry for her. You know what I mean? And he's touching her down. I'm like, when he comes up here, it turns out my son's older than this kid, and I'm like, if my son's older than you, and you're
up to that,
who? Like, where's the guidance?
Mm-hmm.
Who's the support unit? Well, and I don't mean he's fun because he's got a support unit and he's got really good support unit, but it's like they can only be around you for certain hours of the day.
Yeah, of course.
And then you're around for 12 hours on your own as a kid because he's at that age now and he just disappears to sunrise to sunset. And there's nothing wrong with kids doing that because that's how we did it.
Because I did that as a kid.
But it's like during them hours,
what's he doing? Yeah,
it's like if he's touching down them kind of people, that tells me that someone has been trying to use him as a pawn.
But it's like Palpatine to Anakin, isn't it? Right age to manipulate. And that.
No, I can't say any other thing, but that's something I feel like in that moment, someone has tried to use him because how else would he know these?
How would he know that stuff? So can I just finish on this as well? So back in the day when I grew up, right, and I was like 15, there were certain people from our estate and they instilled certain morals on the estate. Like, there were no slapping of girlfriends, there were no burgling old people's houses, there was no mugging women.
You don't straight lines, you don't cross.
We've got that 3 minutes now because I can actually say this, so we're not trying to, because we've got a minute really. Yeah. So there's the name, the Manchester gangster, he got shot. Massey. A good friend of mine, he's 50, he's been in the rave scene, loads of mates with doormen and all that kind of carry on. Mm-hmm. He's never been involved in it, but he's been in with them all.
He's around it.
He's around it all forever. He's been around it.
Of course.
And as far as he was concerned, he's telling me that Paul Massey kept a lot of stuff out of Manchester.
He kept
Manchester clean.
So the police used to kind of look up to Massey. They were kind of...
So there is truth behind that.
1,000,000%. So there was the A-team and the anti-A-team and Massey was all right with bits of coke being sold, but heroin, he didn't want in Salford. There was a van, it drove round. It said on the side of it, sell smack, get smacked.
Get it off my streets.
Get it off the streets. You were selling smack or you were burgling gas, that van pulled up, you got fucking hearted good at.
Like IRA and Belfast.
Kind of like the back in the day with the Belfast. Fair play. And over the years, that has been diluted and diluted and diluted.
That he's a drug dealer. Yeah. That he was just a drug, whereas Lee's telling me that he kept heroin out of Manchester.
He kept it out. There was a few like that. You had your Mark Boomer, your Massey, your Dave Short back in the day for Cregan smoked him. They was all right with coke and crack and ease, but heroin brings a dirty name to every area. It's that kind of drug what people look down on.
Absolutely.
But like the morals and the respect what them guys brought from day dot, like the early 90s, it's just been filtered and filtered and filtered. And now these kids who were doing bits on the street, they're not asked about slapping girlfriends. They're not asked about kicking doors off with there's kids on the other side. There's no interest. It's no.
There's a 10 planter up in their loft. Let's scare the entire family. And half the street. But it's like terrifying. But they're never going to sleep for weeks on end just so you can
for years.
Just so you can get years. Some might trigger 20 years down the line.
20 years PTSD. Yeah. You kicking a door off for a few plants. Come on, what are you getting?
You know what I mean?
These guys was out doing armed robberies for millions of pounds. That's how much it's filtered down.
They were doing armed robberies for millions of pounds and making sure heroin didn't get in on the streets.
Exactly. And these kids are washing up, snide cracking some old gaff, selling it to your neighbour.
We need the likes of a Massey back around the place.
Come on.
We need vigilantes, don't we?
Yeah,
because have you seen the state of the police out there? Sorry, this is where we're going to have to crack. Right? You're going to have... Anthony, tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. Just for the sake, the state of these police today.
No.
The police do the job, don't they?
Do the job, don't
Listen, they're good at what they do.
They're there for a reason, aren't
The
they?
criminal investigation.
There's our counter.
There's your counter.
Yeah,
But I'm talking about the. I'm skinny, but I'd walk through anyone my size. I'd walk through. You know what I mean? I'm relentless. Like I'm a small guy, but you put someone my size in front of me, good luck. Like you know what I mean? I'm that good to go. Like So I look at these cops that are around the place now, and I'm like, you're not intimidating.
No.
At all.
Dressed like Power Rangers.
Not intimidating.
Not left school too long ago.
And they think that these kids that we're speaking about are going to be afraid of them.
No way. Bobby Cops used to be like 6'6" when I was.
And it's like you do streaming.
And you get a backhander.
Yeah.
1,000,000%.
And it's like you do streaming, you do line of prison officers. You know what I mean? They want to be your best mate. You know what I mean? You can have a game of pool with them and that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's like, what's going on here?
Yeah. Also, got a spare vape, got a spare cig. They sound.
Yeah.
Back in the day, you were behind your door, you didn't like...
Yeah, innit? It's mad. So we're going to go there, we're going to come back, and we're going to close off the show with Anthony's. So
Anthony's LS.
Anthony's LS. This is epic. This is really, really
it's
good.
All right.
So... yeah, we're not even going to say what bars build a nation. That's it, done. We're back in a few moments.
Back after the break.
Yes.
No, all right, keep him back on now. We're going to go
back on. All right, so he's not. So yeah, right. Well, we're back on air. Let's do it.
Look, this is just saving now. Need to make sure I save it because we've done 20-minute interviews and we've not saved them. And we've been like,
rookie mistake, man. Rookie mistake.
And like it's been like some really, really, really like.
That's when I say, fuck this, I'm pissed off, I'm going for a zoot, mate.
I can't do that anymore.
I
have to go for it. I'm going for a
I'm going for coffee.
Going for a vape.
That's politically correct now, isn't it?
We had no music on that either.
Yeah.
I flicked it down. Like, I was like, boom, we got it nailed it. Like,
yeah.
So it's like really deep. Like,
respect.
So 3, 2, 1.
Yes. Welcome back.
Boom. And you were here. We're going to be like, right, we're listening. Every show in the future, we're going to give them a red card instantly as soon as we can.
Hashtag mic drop.
Right, so we're running in. We've got like 12 minutes, pretty much 10 minutes. So let's jump in. Anthony.
Yeah, so my life was like, well, it ended up just similar, but mine was, my childhood was good. Do you know what I mean? We used to go around to gran and granddads and that with my mum and dad. Do you know what I mean? But alcohol was always available and that. And I think it started about the age of 10 and that. Do you know what I mean? Your aunties and uncles and that, you'd be like, do you know what I mean? Drinking and that. But then I didn't know, that didn't like the feeling. It was just like I must have, like, over the years, do you know what I mean? Getting into secondary school, it must have progressed and that. And then alcohol was like, I was like weekend drinking. But then even through school time, I was like, couldn't wait to get that drink at weekend. Yeah. It was even a time when, do you know what I mean, one of my mates took me to his house and at dinner time. And I seen that his mum and dad had a drinks cabinet. I said, should we just have one? So yeah, that was it then. But then that was like become a regular thing then, you know, through the week, going to my mate's house and going back to school.
I was
I was like the class clown anyway, and then weekends started, and that's when weed got involved and that weed introduced to weed and that. So you'd all be putting your fivers in, do you know what I mean? So much weed, beer, do you know what I mean? MD 2020, White Lightning, a lot.
Yeah. MD, bro.
Yeah.
MD, come on. 2020, come on. Free drag drops and everything.
Yeah, and then bongs and all that, and then so then that was bad that, and then like you say, got kicked out of school, and then cocaine started. That carried on until like my early 20s. Then that's when I met my baby's mum. Then we had 3 kids. I had a stepson as well, but then that was the same. I'd go to work and I'd be like sniffing in work and that, drinking and that. Do you know what I mean? She didn't bother with it, but then eventually, do you know what I mean? I was like, yo, just get a taste of this. Do you know what I mean? Just have one line and that. Do you know what I mean? Just so I could do more. Do you know what I mean? The kids would start off having, do you know what I mean, stuff and that, but then it'd be like me dipping into the, do you know what I mean? They won't need that for the birthdays and that. And then just that's just a mind of an addict in it, but then I'll definitely replace it and that. Do you know what I mean? I was working longer hours at work to buy more drugs. So the more I'd earn, the more I'd get on drugs. And then eventually that just come to become a toxic relationship. I'd been to jail for like DVs, and then we split up. I went my own way. I ended up getting my own house and that. But that's when I started going through the job cycle, Joe, getting different jobs.
Yeah.
I was good at my work and that, but having days
How
off.
old were you at this stage? Because I'm thinking now, and I'm just trying to get a time scale of
Yeah. So this was when I split up with Nick. That would have been about, I'd say 20. So getting into my 30s now. When I split up, do you know what I mean? I destroyed the family and moved into my own house and that. But then I lost many jobs through that, running up massive bills and that, just not going back to work. And then that just went on for years, and then I wasn't able to work. Then I got in and out of jails. Do you know what I mean? Using in and out of jails, the same scenario. Like I'm not going to do it now. Do you know what I mean? My mum just totally. Do you know what I mean? On my case, so please stop it. You're wrecking us, and I couldn't stop. And then got to the age of 35, and that after I'd been through like certain hostels and that, and then that was when there was the streets. I was introduced to the streets about the age of 35 and that, and that's when I thought I'd hit gold then, because I thought I don't even have to go home. I could just party all the time, take drugs, party. But that was short lived. That, and the same happened. And
how short lived is short lived? Like a week, 2, 3, 4 months, 5 months?
Well, it wasn't. It was just like, Joe, when you're doing things, when you're that far, do you know what I mean? Drinking every day, taking drugs and that. Joe, it was like it was good.
Novelty's worn off and that.
No, it was good at first, but then when you sat there on your own in your own thoughts and that, do you know what I'm thinking?
No one around you.
Yeah, no one around you. Do you know what I mean? You ripped everyone off, so no one wants to come near you. You're like, oh, I won't do it again, and it happens again. Do you know what I mean? You sat there with £100 worth of drugs in your pocket, and you're fucking still thinking, where's the fucking next lot coming from? So you're not even enjoying the drugs that you're fucking taking. And some nights I'd be asleep, do you know what I mean? Someone would like wake me up and that, do you know what I mean? And if they had drugs on them, I wouldn't be asked about them waking me up. Do you know what I mean? It could have been any drugs, do you know what I mean? What drugs have you got? Heroin. I don't even fucking take heroin. I'll give us some of that. Do you know what I mean? They're like, no, you don't take it. I was like, I could do it, it'd help me sleep. And then, but do you know, if they didn't have anything on them, fucking I'd be in fucking World War then. I'd fucking kick right up. I'm like, what are you fucking waking me up for? But then it'd be the same each morning, waking up each morning. Which shop am I robbing? Sundays, you'd have to just suicide Sunday. Do you know what I mean? Because the shops are shut early. And then it was last year when Joe, I was sat there thinking, I'd even died on the streets. That's how bad it had got. I died on the streets. Someone has shown me the video. They've said, fucking hell, look, that didn't even stop me. Back out, just smoking again. Because when people say they don't care who they hurt and all that, I cared. But I just couldn't fucking stop myself from doing it. I didn't know there was a solution. I didn't know you could live clean.
Yeah, no restrictions and that.
I just didn't know there was a way of life. I thought even if you didn't take anything, you could have a pint at the weekend or something, or you could have a joint or finger. Yeah. I didn't know there was
everyone's got something.
Yeah. I didn't know there was what do you call it? Just abstinent.
Russell Brand.
Well, I didn't know there was an abstinent fucking way of life. I just thought, nah, they're chatting shit. Even when I started in this fellowship, do you know what I mean? I thought they've got to be on something. Do you know what I mean? They're not living clean. But obviously that was a different matter. I was in hospital with a collapsed lung, and I fucking was going scoring with that. I had to carry a bucket round, you know, with blood in it. Yeah. I was even taking that with a fucking thing round me, scoring in the park. But then last year, which when I ended up going back to jail and rehab got mentioned, he said, please, will you give it a go? And I thought, oh, I'll have a think about it. So I sat there thinking about it and got the news that my mum's partner had gone into hospital, with a cancelled finger, and he died. So then that's when I promised my mum. Said to my mum, I said, do you know that rehab? I said, I'm not going to give it a go, I'm going to do it. And from that day, I said, pass the phone to Morris. So she passed the phone to Morris, and I said, I promise you, Morris. She said, once I leave these jail doors, I said, I'll never take a drink or drug again. And from that day now, so I'll be now nearly 9.5 months now. And the streets.
I watched that day. I want the swan, mate.
Everyone wants a swan.
I was hoping if I bring one down, I was like, if you bring a swan, it'd be class, mate. I was like, they are class. I seen it that day. I was like, bro has got talent.
Yeah. I'll bring you one.
They are phenomenal, man.
Yeah.
They are. And that day outside it, from everything from that to now, it's just like you've now in that position. And maybe it's because of the Billy Moore, and it seems like he's elevated a little bit in the social over.
In the social, yeah.
And that's just presence and Billy and stuff like that. Obviously, it's like. But I've asked you, and you were like, "Nah, I knew what Charlie Beach was. I wasn't going to go. I was making sure I wasn't going to be there."
Yeah.
Listen, I kind of stayed out of town from time.
But
to time.
It's like over the years, like 7 years on the streets and that, in and out of the hostel system, done the hostel system. But these streets just kept dragging me back. I'd like charities like Two Brews. I'd like the services. The services were right behind me. The services were helping me. But do you know, like I said before, do you know, once them appointments come, that's why I think there should be some sort of appointment system set up, like, do you know, like the doctors? So like where if someone feels capable of going to an appointment that day, so if they're on the street homeless, they could ring this number and say, right, can you get me in today? Do you know, rather than waiting so many days, because it never happens.
Like a crisis, if you
will. Like a crisis, you know, where they're willing, where they might wake up one morning and think, I ain't got 5 days to wait. Do you know what I mean? They come and see him on a Thursday and said, right, can you be at such a place on a Tuesday? Yeah.
Priority, isn't it?
I just don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like that's why I'm so glad. Yeah, we go out on a Saturday. I make food on a Saturday morning now. Joe in my own kitchen,
and it goes out.
It goes out with Geoff. Joe, we take it out, but with the service that we work with through the rehab, do you know what I mean? We've got like an advantage really, because we can see where these people are, see if they're willing to engage with the service. Do you know what I mean? If they want to get back in touch with services and that, and Geoff will go and see him on a Monday or something, or I'll see him on a Tuesday, take him to meetings and that, just try and. But like what I said,
we're gonna have to say goodbye on the show on air, but we're gonna stay recording. We're gonna keep this continuing on, and if you want to continue on with this, you're gonna have to go on to Round Republic on YouTube, and you're gonna be able to see the continuation.
And recovery's possible. Join us on Turbo. Join us on TikTok on Turbo.
There you go, people.
Right, we're going to leave that one there, and then we're going to actually keep this going. We're going to carry it on. But now, we'll do another 5 minutes, close out.
Right, yeah, 5, whatever.
So I'm going to actually add all of these ones up. So this will be the continuation. So what I just said there is on YouTube, so people that'll hear this and that. Yeah. So they'll know that this is all going to be filmed on YouTube. And
so this is like segment 4.
This would be like segment 4, yeah. But it's all on cam. Yeah, all on cam.
Yeah, of course.
I've got to download all the audios that we're recording here now.
Basically, backstage.
And I'm going to back them up to these.
Yeah, that's what
this guy.
I'm going to line them up.
That's what I was thinking. I was going from year to year, but I just thought I've only got so much. Do you know what I mean? Time
to know what, gents? Every credit for your metamorphosis.
Yeah, but that's
fair play to you.
Yeah. And like you say, hatred's gone now, innit? Charlie done what he'd done. So I mean, if I was in that position doing what he was doing, yeah, I'd be doing probably, so I mean, the same. But the way he was doing it, when it worked out, I thought, nah, that doesn't work out that way. Do you know, to do it that way?
Yeah, it was a bit like, as I said, every time watching it, it was a kind of like, I felt like, man, you can't fucking do that. Like,
yeah,
but you just can't stop watching it. And then he's going on about certain things and certain environments and history, and you're like, God, you're so well spoken. You're such an educated, well-rounded individual, and then you carry on in ways like that. You let yourself down. Like,
it's not like, don't start provoking people.
It's like when you see,
you know what I mean.
Dean said it perfectly the other day. Dean was like, it was you, wasn't it? When you were like, he's like, I've never watched a full episode, but he's going to get spotted one of these days because I've seen it. I'm like,
that's why he has Fred,
I was like, he doesn't put them reels out. He puts full content out, like a full hour and a half or hour 40 minutes, whatever it is. I said, so what you've seen, Dean, I goes, and you've made your comment.
Narrative,
It's exactly what people have tried to do with Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate is a scumbag. Andrew Tate is a woman because they've seen a little tiny clip on YouTube, and that's what people are doing with Charlie. So to be fair, they've even started doing it with Billy.
Yeah,
they've even started saying Billy's a fascist. honest.
Yeah, but you got Billy, you got Man Manny, you got Cozzy. What they film you see, yeah. But listen, you did, with Charlie,
I like Cozzy.
Yeah, with the
I like Cozzy.
I like Mad Manny.
Yeah,
I like
Man Manny.
Manny.
That's what I said. Man Manny, Cozzy. That's what I mean. They're the people.
DGE, I think he's a bit. He's always.
Well, he's gone now, isn't he?
Yeah, but his neck, he's always like, he walks and he's just like.
Big up Cozzy.
Stick his neck out, like.
Yeah.
I don't know, there's something about him. I watch his content, but there's just something about
Well,
him.
he's been found out to be a thing, hasn't he?
I don't know if that's true, though.
Yeah.
Well, we only know what's
We're all
the rated,
How
don't we?
many times did you call Charlie?
No.
Charlie, you're in that.
Yeah, but it's. No, but there's video evidence of him doing it.
Oh, is there?
Yeah, he was filming it, wasn't he? Dragging the woman out of the canal and that. Do you know what I mean? He was filming stuff like that.
No, I thought, no, what actually,
then-
what the conviction is voyeurism. So for me, the conviction is that he went to a dogging spot, filmed, and a stroke. We're not actually recording, so
Yeah.
had a good wank, and then the police have come to the spot. That's as far as what I read.
Well, there's
And that wasn't from his, that was me doing my own research.
There's stuff in the papers about it.
They're gonna fucking milk it.
There's loads of like paper evidence, you know what I mean, saying that's what. And do you know what I mean? If you didn't have an out to hide, you stick, wouldn't you? If you got running off.
Yeah. But he and Tay had a bit of a falling out over in France.
Well, that's, yeah.
He even said a bit of it. But Tay seemed to just kind of switch it. Because Tay was like constantly with Char, and then Tay's just like literally getting onto him about, mate, you're saying that all them migrants are from a certain country or somewhere, like, you're suggesting that, and it's like, are you fucking saying they're not? Because they're fucking blatantly are, you cunt. So what, they're fucking Ghanaian or Zimbabwean, doesn't matter where they're from. They just happen to be from that place, and they're not. No, you're milking it, going to go, I'm just saying that because they're fucking black. Nothing to do with because they're black. If they were white fucking Irish travellers, they're still fucking robbing up there.
Yeah.
If they're fucking black Somalians, they're still fucking robbing up there. If they're whatever, they're still doing whatever what their boys were accusing of.
Everything.
And Tay just flipped it into the fucking race card
the
all of a
thing-
sudden.
the thing-
He lost a lot of credibility that day with me, Tay.
A lot of it, doesn't matter what it is now. Things get.
You've elevated your platform. You've used it to elevate.
Once it gets highlighted, it gets bought on, done
in the wrong hands.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
But back to the thing, them streets are dangerous. And do you know what I mean? There's people that, do you know what I mean, do need help, and they're just stuck in that problem. What they don't know they don't know that there's a solution. That there is. Do you know what I mean? Just that one person just talking for 5 minutes with him. Like I say, I had support of Two Brews and all that for over the years. And with Billy just giving me that push and all that, saying I was once in your position. Do you know what I mean? There's possibility. And like I say, I thought, do you know, some people haven't got the brain. Do you know what I mean? To think I'm doing. Do you know, it's not as brain. It's like the fucking strength. Do you know what I mean? Like most people, where we've come from. Do you know what I mean? Most people won't be able to think it's possible. All I can say is life is it's possible.
You know what I've said to myself? Do you know what I've said to myself?
Possible.
I said to myself before I'll ever, like, if it gets that bad that I'm on the street, I'm ending it.
A million. Do you know if it comes to me going back doing that, I would end it.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm saying if it gets that bad that I have to beg on the street for money or food, I'm ending it.
Well, I've never been in that position.
You wouldn't want to go back.
Change once I'm fucking there.
But you know what?
Easily change once I'm fucking there.
Well, do you know what I say now? The way my life is lived now today, it's nice. It's not everything that I need, but if I keep working, I'm grateful of the things that I have now. Yeah, and I live in the present. Do you know what I mean? The other things will come. If I'm so busy, do you know what I mean? Trying to get the things that I want, the
appreciate
things, But what I'm saying as well, if I was to climb on top of a building and jump off, my life would change. The way I lived in my day-to-day life, it'd change. Yeah, and there's a possibility I'd die. Yeah, whereas if I went back to drinking drugs again, there's a possibility my life would change. Well, my life would definitely change, and there's a possibility I will die. So what I'll do, is I don't climb on top of the roof, and I don't go near drinking drugs. Do you know what I mean? And I found a new way to take that away.
Stop action as well.
Well, I just know where people think, it's not possible. I don't think that now. I don't think after 10 years I'll be able to have a drink. I know now, my heart's set. I will never be able to take a drink or drug ever again.
Party's over.
What the party? Even the after party. So look, I was rock bottom. Got to rock bottom, and I thought this is rock bottom. And then the trap door opened again. Boom, boom. And then where I was sat in them doorways, just thinking, fucking, do you know when you sat on your own? Do you know when you sat with 5 people and all that, and you're having your drugs? You do, yeah, life's good. Well, not life's good.
Are you high on life now? Are you high? So for me, is this high on life?
$1,000,000%
life.
So we went. A good friend of mine. We all probably know the music. So you even on the streets, you would have heard this, mate. That's how big this kid.
Yeah.
So a guy from Bolton toured the world. He was in a boy band called The Wanted.
Oh yeah.
It's my next door neighbour, and so Tom, very close mate of mine, and he died in 2022.
Yeah.
And there was a point. What was my point? I'll lose this all.
High on life.
High on life. So yes, that's it. It's like ecstasy moment. You just ran it back in. Yes, he got it. Remember them back in the day? Everyone would forget and someone would remember. Yeah. So being high on life, like, and we were driving out to his funeral, and me and my mate recently, I won't even get into it, mate, but he's lost everything as well, pretty much because of sniff and gambling. But he's sniffing it.
And you know what?
10 a.m. in the day, mate. Getting relentless stuff, and he's putting himself into. He'd look down on you.
Oh, 1,000,000%.
Because he's sniffing it.
Yeah.
Mate, you're a crackhead.
Yeah.
You might as well be. Like,
the mad thing is, sniff, crack, you have a piss test, they're both coming back for the same thing.
Boom. You know, I'm doing a documentary as it stands, which is the difference. So I'd like if you've both.
Oh, we'll come on that.
So I'm actually got a documentary.
We'll
I've done a couple of things. And
they say smoking crack is a lot cleaner than smoking fucking, than sniffing the thing, because you don't know what's...
Chemically, it is the exact same inside your body.
Chemically,
completely. Once your body
absorbs your body metabolizes that in the
exact same way.
It comes like in a mouth swab, a drug test. It
doesn't matter if you take a vitamin in liquid or if you take a vitamin in a pill, or if you take the vitamins coming into your blood.
And do you know what? I'm quite glad of them videos, because now, if them videos weren't taken, do you know what I mean, a year, 2 years ago, it wouldn't be proof now that change is possible. Yeah. So I'm quite grateful of them videos.
That's like a reel for you to back and go, there's
that's my head. I could put one of them on in the morning, If I'm feeling a bit shit in the morning, I could put one of them videos on from fucking 2 years ago, and think, fucking hell, life's not that bad, you know.
Life's not that bad.
And then it'll
give yourself a pat on the back. I don't do that enough. For everything I've done here, I have yet to pat myself on the back with this, man. Have I? I've yet to actually go, you know what you've done. I just keep beating myself up because I'm doing wrong daily that this doesn't know about.
Of course.
And because I'm doing wrong daily, I'm sad about doing wrong daily.
Yeah.
Sad. Dean's like, no. I'm like, it's only been. Well, that's the same every day for about 6 weeks.
And that's when most people, do you know, when they haven't given that idea up yet, that they think one day they'll be able to drink. That's why their life doesn't flourish as much, because they've always got that thought that one day
reservation.
Reservation. When you're in recovery, you've got just the party's over. And your life will be a lot better.
So that's it. I ran it back into that because I remember it as well. So it's like we were going down to Tom's funeral from The Wanted, and I was saying to the guy, other Tom, so there's 2 Toms. Tom passed, and me and Tom were driving out to Tom's funeral. And next night, I'm like, if there was a pill that you could take, and that pill sobered you up, so you didn't have to battle it. You didn't have to struggle and battle it. You just took a pill and you woke up and you were sober.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wouldn't. And life was good, and life was actually good. How would you just stay sober, or would you continue on getting? Well, that's kind of my question to you. It's like you're high on life now. So basically, I was saying to him, I've been smoking cannabis since I'm 13. The longest I ever went was in prison, and I was in jail for 1.5 years, and I did 6 weeks without it. And that's just because they kept on giving me time, because I was getting it off the net and around and doing all the shit. So eventually I kept on losing my shop orders, my phone calls, the punishment that comes with it, the TV, everything that comes with it. And I kept on coming back from my cell, and on your cell door, don't know if it's the same over here, I've never been to jail in England, thank God, and you have your release date.
Oh, yeah.
And your release date's just changed. It's further and further and further from what it was. And it's just a heartbreaking moment.
Cool. Yeah.
So I realised 6 weeks, I've got 6 weeks to go. I was fighting with the dubs because it got to the point where I was not getting sorted, and they were like, you're doing it. I'm like, but I'm not getting sorted, so fuck that. I'm not going to scrap it on the yard here. And there's like 7 or 8 of them on the yard, and one lad from my end, Dublin, countryside, we're in Dublin jail. It's like someone from bloody farmer in Scotland, somewhere in the Highlands, and all of a sudden he's in a Scouse jail.
Yeah.
I had a taste of boating and that growing up, But that's what these guys considered me.
Yeah.
They didn't realise that I'm actually from Bolton, that I've grown up in Bolton, and that, you know, it's a big town there, you know.
His accent's got something to do with it. And
Well, you can kind of tell, can't you?
No, so it was kind of like, I wasn't necessarily intimidated, like, so I was, you know, standing up for myself, and my mate came over and he's just like, there's two of us. If I don't help you, and because I'm a mullah, and a word gets back that I was on the yard, they're gonna get us both. So I'm just gonna help you, and we'll just do it and just save the fucking night, bro. So next time we did it together, I went up and the governor's just like, I have watched all of that on the camera. They are ragging you and they're not going to stop. And he's like, I'm going to put it to you. You're released there. I'll give you 6 weeks. If you can stay off Everton for 6 weeks, you're causing yourself nothing but problems. Yeah. Had a good chat with me. And then that went on to colours, because you got the colours, you know. And then, so I've gone, I can't be out in the fucking, with the boys. So I've gone up to 23-hour lockup. They put me on the colours. And they put me on the colour with a 17-year-old. And it was just me and this 17-year-old kid, because I think something similar was happening with him. Like, and next night I was sorting him out tobacco, and two of us got on like a house on fire. And then they put all of the other boys, just to save an hour at Christmas, onto the colours with us. So we're all out in the yard together again. And the boys are just like, why are you on the pinks? I'm like, I don't want to be on the fucking pinks. I wanted to be on yellows or something. And next,
white. I want to be on the white.
I want to be on the brown.
Next night, like, because whatever happened with them, so there was two of them. And one of them, Stephen Bailey, I remember Stephen Bailey bet the living shite out of me. He hammered me. He did. Some traveller kid from Galway absolutely annihilated me. And about 4 weeks later, 5 weeks later, in this fucking lockup thing, a lad, officers, were allowed smoking Irish jails. Even still, you're allowed to get tobacco in Irish jails. And so next night, he's asking for some dust. He wants a bit of dust. As a officer was asking for dust. There's someone on the land who's just come up like that. I'm like, I know how it feels. This is fucking awful. Go on, I'll give a couple of fags out. So rolls up a couple of fags, slides him underneath. He's like, get on your window. So gets on the window. He's like, what's your name? I'm like, Dougie. He's like, what's your name? Stephen Bell. I'm like, it's the cunt who bet the shit out of me. He's like, yo, we'll talk tomorrow. Thank you for that. So we went and he came onto my colour, like, and we ended up becoming a little bit of mates, like, you know what I mean? So we are back.
There you go.
The boys here. The camera died. So we're back here. Yo. So we just want to say goodbyes because the camera died, and that's it.
Right, yeah, thank you for inviting us down and that, and it's been great. If one person gets something out of this, then it's been a
success.
Been a success at it. Like I say, all I can do now is just keep growing the person I am, and then and recovery is possible. If you go back and look at the video 2 years ago to the way I'm living now, then we're well done.
Round of applause. I was going to say big fucking round of applause. Both of you.
Do you know if 1,000 people watch that and 2 kids,
there we go,
15 get a bit of sense out of it and realise not to party, or 2 users think, you know, look at these 2 who got clean, maybe I can do it.
Follow us on TikTok, Turbo 0531. Follow us from 9 o'clock at night. Do you know what I mean? We give a little show about recovery and stuff like that. Even if you just want a little chat, if you're feeling a bit lonely and that, and you don't know how to get out there, we can point you in the right direction. Me and Jen.
Get on.
Boom. And that's it. That's it from us at Ram Republic. Special week, episode 74.
Yeah, man.
Over and out. Build the nation.